In this screencast, we'll be looking at the functions Vlookup and HLOOKUP. Both of these functions are practically the same, except one operates on tables that look in this format. So you've got an ID on the left hand side, and a HLOOKUP will look at when you've got a ID in the topmost row. And I'll show the differences there. So let's have a look at the function Vlookup. Looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. By default, the table must be sorted in ascending order. Alright. So lookup value I'm going to put as F2. So similar to our first lookup, we need a lookup value. This time we need a table array. Now a table array is like our vector, except we can actually have multiple columns or multiple rows. So in this case, we're going to make a table out of our car information here. So we can just select that range to use as a table array. Our third input is the column number. So let's say we wanted to pull out the price from this information and nothing else. That would be the fourth column, because we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So go that. And finally, our range lookup, which needs a true or a false value. Now, true means that the lookup value can be an approximate, and false means it needs to be exact. Now, this option can trick up a lot of people because it automatically defaults to true, the approximate match, and sometimes you'll get results which you're not supposed to. So I'll start with a false, and I'll explain what true does later on. So to do this, I'll just put a value here, and let's look up what H02 costs. So H02 is our Holden Cruise, and the price is $19,890. And we can see that's what Vlookup returned to us. So it took the lookup value, it looked for it in the leftmost column of J2 to M9, and it went to the fourth column of that table and returned that value. So that's a fairly useful tool. Now, very quickly, I'll do the same thing with a HLOOKUP. We'll use the same lookup value. Our table array is now this one, except without that. Usually you don't include the column or row identifiers. So our row index number will be the fourth one. We'll put false in there as well. So functionally, they both perform the same task. It's just which way your data is orientated in your table array. So I said before that this last value can trick people up. Now, if I change it to this value, that's I've just taken that away, and that's changed the value. So H02 exists in this table, but it's now returning this value, which is very strange, isn't it? And that's the main problem. It's not when it's an approximate lookup, its behavior can sometimes be unexpected. It's not what you expect, and this is very common when you use letters inside of this table. So always be careful. Sometimes this is useful. This has the same behavior as the lookup before, when just the plain lookup, in that it will return the first value that's not bigger than the value that you're looking for. So you may want that behavior, but a lot of the time you won't. So just be aware that it's a good idea to start with range lookup set to false, so that if you don't get a match, then you'll get an error. Whereas if we set it to true, or if we leave it blank, so it's more so that the blank part is what tricks people up, because you just set it to that. Usually you prefer an error, but that's not what you get. So that's how we use Vlookup. Very brief form. It's where we've got a table of information where you want to look up a specific ID that is typically unique. If you use non-unique ones, you're going to have some issues there, similar to the way that we put true instead of false. So yeah, it's where we look up into a table for a specific ID, and then we return the value from a specific column. So pulling out specific bits of information is very useful, and Vlookup and HLOOKUP are both good tools to do that.